Hello and welcome to Legacy of Leaders. I'm extremely excited about my guest today. Caroline is the founder of Dream Career Club. Now tell me all about that, Caroline.
Sure. So I'm a career coach and I specialize in career change. And myself, I've been a multiple time career changer. I actually started as a classical pianist, trained at Juilliard, and I was a music major in college, and then moved into consulting and banking, HR, media, and finally my own company. And so I work with people who want to find their dream careers.
So tell me a little bit about what does it really mean to have a dream career, and is it really possible?
Sure. So my philosophy is to make a great living doing what you love. So make a great living means that you are able to fulfill your financial obligations, that you're able to live your life. That's important. We want to have money to support ourselves, but we also want to do what we love, work with people that we want to work with, work in an industry and in a role that we care about. And so money and meaning are not mutually exclusive. And that's what I mean by a dream career.
Well, it's amazing because recent statistics show that 92% of people would change jobs if they had the opportunity to, according to Gallup. And so how do we actually find that? Because people feel like they're stuck in their roles, and if they change jobs, they won't make as much money. What's the secret?
Well, I think the first step is to believe that you can. So you said something about, well, we don't want to make less money. I think that is a common misconception. People assume that if we make a change, we're going to have to take a step back, we're going to have to take a pay cut, and that's not necessarily true. Now, I had a client who was an investment banker who then moved into nonprofit.
Oh, gosh.
She did take a pay cut in terms of foregoing the big bonus, but her base salary actually wasn't a cut. And so she had always been saving her bonuses, and so she didn't really miss that from the day-to-day. Obviously, if you move from banking to nonprofit, that's a switch, but for some people, they don't make such a stark change, and so you can't make the assumption you're going to make less money.
I see. You also made some notes when we were talking earlier about how markets have changed and how people have to adapt to that. Share with me your thoughts on that.
Well, people are changing jobs more frequently, both from a sense of the employees themselves are looking for something more, but then also employers, there's just less commitment to developing people and keeping people. And so you really have to assume when you create your career that you're going to be changing more often. Might as well do something that you love.
That's amazing. I noticed recently with the Bureau of Labor Statistics that the average millennial only spends 1 year and 9 months in a job. What's the secret to keeping them longer?
Well, I think it's that development. It's challenging them, it's investing in their learning and development so that it feels like they're changing roles, that they're learning, that they're advancing, and they're not doing the same thing again and again.
You know, I've noticed in a number of surveys that companies are more interested in can you do the job and will you do the job, where the employees is wondering, is this a good place to work and are you going to develop my career? What are your thoughts on that? How do you marry those two things?
Well, I always remind people that everyone, whether that's the employer or the employee, is tuned to WIIFM radio, which is what's in it for me.
Sure.
So you really need to think about what's in it for the other person and speak to that, and then you can get on the same wavelength.
So if your dream career isn't what you're doing now, what do you do to change?
I think the first step is to experiment. Sometimes you don't know exactly what that role is or what that industry is, so start reading something, take a class, talk to people, do an activity that you like. There are so many things that you can do without having to quit your job, so that's a misconception too, that you have to all of a sudden run away and join the circus. You can do things on the side.
Well, Caroline, thank you so much. This is great information, and I hope those of you that are listening have really taken it to heart. And Caroline, how can we get in touch with you?
Well, it's very easy, dreamcareerclub.com, and you can find all of my information there.
That sounds great. Well, thank you for joining us at Legacy of Leaders. Come back and see us next time. Looking forward to it.